All right, and we're live. We're getting back to this for a little bit. Um, I've been away working on other stuff again, podcast and all that stuff, and trying to make sure the audio is a little better. Um, I know that's an issue. I'm working on it, but I'm here, and probably just going to go for a little bit. So this is basically the base coat now, and what I want to do is just go back in and punch in some more of the warm colors, and then when I come back next time, I'm gonna go back in and punch in some of those blues and greens, and there's some purple in there, like I had said. Let me. I think it's this one. Nope. Or nope. 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 I want this. So yeah, again, this image is a bit contrasty, and it's not exactly what the box art looks like. It's this one is. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, contrasty is a better way. It's punched up on the darks and the lights, and it's a little not it's not close to the box art. It's similar but not the same. The box art is a little more muted than that, which is what I'm going for. So again, and I look like a ghost on here today. What's going on? Um so yeah, that's where I'm at. So if you see, you can't really see them in here, but there are some purples and the blues need to be punched in a little more, and it just needs to pop a little bit more. So that's where I'm at. I do want to clean this up a little bit with some black and work on this a little. I think is where I want to start today. Is on that stupid um, torch. I don't know what's up with my camera. There. So, and I'll probably be moving that around. But that's kind of what I want to do. So let's just get the colors going and get rid of that for now. Get some glasses on. And did I turn off my volume? There. Okay. So, I'm going to switch over to this brush this time. Some Artist Opus. Um, about that size. What is this? The size 2. So, not a tiny brush at all. It helps. Why are you not focusing? Are you kidding me, camera? There we go. It helps to kind of have that so you can load a lot of paint into it. So, oh, and I got the Scorpion back on. That fell off. That got knocked off last time. So this mic, this is what's going to be the problem. I have to find out a better way to do this. So I know I'm talking into the right spot. So there we go. And the paint stayed pretty wet on here. The retarder is still completely ready to go. So just check what we got. It's a little chunky in there. You see how it kind of chunked up a bit. But that's okay. Take some brown rust color, both my rusts, and kind of mix them in there. It kind of helped that it thickened up a little bit. And some orange. How's the orange looking? It's not bad. All right. So I know for a fact up here at the top in the box art there's some streaks coming down. So I want to kind of make sure I highlight some of that. And there is, how's the yellow looking? There is some straight yellow up in there. Hmm. The yellow doesn't go much further than this edge. And there's some red in there because his hand kind of goes, I think, here. And maybe I'll throw just a little bit over on this side. I think Jamie sounds like she's coughing to death upstairs. Which is... And yeah, I think that's okay. So I'm going to do the same thing just on the edge of this. How we're going to do this. I'm going to get some more yellow, some fresh yellow. So the paints I'm still using, Acryl, Pro Acryl from the Creature Caster people. Squeeze a little new bit of yellow on there. And that flows a little better. That flows a little better. So, all right. Where were we? Oh, yeah. On here. So, taking that yellow. I need something to brace this on. Can't hold it up. What's it look like? It's almost too much. Yeah, that works better. Just need some orange. See, I took that yellow, mixed it in with some of the old orange. Brighten it up a bit. Yeah, that's a little better. I got the shakes today. Oops, can't see. The back of this. And probably, I would think, this is hard to see, all of this would have yellow on it. Or these warm colors. Not so much yellow. Can't see in here. And the parts that stick out would get a little more. I'm wondering if I should have filled that in. Oops, can't see. Wonder if I should have filled that in. I think that's part of the plastic that shouldn't be part of the kit. But kind of too late now. Now on the box art, it's not up until you get up in the torch that it's a pure yellow. So I'm going to kind of leave it with those warm colors, but in here, and yellow is the worst color to even work with, so just going to kind of brush it around in different ways. Now I know it's going to be more yellow towards the center, but there is some black showing in the artwork. And I'll probably go back and add that black later. With the red being kind of blended down. In there. And it's going to take, drying, repainting. I'm such a hard time with this. Again, we're shooting for painterly. We're not trying to make it look like real fire. Trying to balance this. This is where that retarder is going to come in handy. So things can blend. So I'm kind of brushing some of that in there. And then, yeah, it's going to have to dry and then recoat. I don't know what's going on with focus today. What is up there? Some of that like really bright red for the tips. take some orange and blend it back and forth. The middle, yeah, it's getting too wet now. Gonna probably have to chill on it for a while. Let some of that retarder dry. Come on, camera. Bring some of that color down into here. You're looking at that. There is some, like I said, we're going to have to touch up the black a little later. All right, I'm going to let that torch dry for now. I'll probably even put some white in there. Do I have any? There's no fresh white, so let me do that. This is just plain titanium white, nothing special. And I'm gonna get like that much on my brush. Just kind of do that, a couple spots. And then take some yellow. Go over it a little. I don't like, for some reason that looks fishy to me right there. Yeah, it needs to dry. So let's move it. I'll let that dry. So I'm gonna move on. Let me get some black. A little bit of water. Some water with some black, and this whole front needs to be just about solid black. Like that. And it looks like the same down here. And then up into here. As far as the side goes, I need to put some there. This needs more color. Probably a bit too much on there. Okay. And for some reason they painted this. I would think this would be a little more less color on there, but box art says differently. I'm gonna kind of stick with that. But some more color in here. Some of that rust brown. Now, that looks a little too brown to me. Or red, I mean. Take some of this orange. Stick that in there, tab this around. Do the same there. Now, yellow. Put a little on here, just on the edge, both sides. All right, back to the wall for a bit. Mixing up some yellow, mixing up some orange. Actually, I need a little new orange. These are kind of a bit chunky. A bit chunky. Let's throw some new light rust down. And some of that rust brown. Yellow and a little rust brown in there. All right, so let's just kind of streak. There's some, I mean, in the texture in the wall, you can kind of see those lines. So what I kind of do is follow some of that. Just kind of tapping it on there. So it's not like straight lines, but trying to match sort of the brush strokes that are in the painting for the box. And this yellow, this really bright, is mostly up here around the torch. And as we get further away from the torch, you're going to have to like red it up a little more. There's not much retarder in this paint. I'm going kind of just a little bit of water, tiny bit of that retarder in there. It's already kind of thin because some of the paint I'm using is an airbrush paint. And the thing that kind of sucks is it stops here. There's on the box art, there's so much more brick around there. So you don't get the quite full yellow reflection effect that you probably should. Come on, camera. What's up today? I'll have to come back in with some of those other colors too. Some reds and do this sort of the same thing here. I like what I did. I think this looks awesome. But the rest, I don't know. And I mean that yellow, I gotta hit some on the box art that's hitting that corner. Is there anywhere else? Nowhere else on it looks. It's mostly this color's up here, so I'm just gonna kind of keep working at it. Put some of this in here. And the crazy thing is there's all, I can mix up. There's even quite a bit of red in here. So I'm going to kind of go it's all about just building up the colors. Where did I see? Where does this look? On camera, this part looks terrible right there. But in real life, it's different. Taking some orange and some, both the rust colors. This brick has a pretty good red spot on it, not yellow for some reason. And then a touch of yellow like down there. I think it's where his hand's kind of blocking things. We're going to knock that back a bit. Hope everybody still has all their fingers from the 4th of July. I do, which is sometimes with me a good thing. If you know my history with fireworks and burns. I'm going to really worry about this side today. I'll come back and do that later. Um, actually, I lied. The scorpion, I would think, would kind of match the background. So I'm going to kind of extra highlight him using almost like a dry brush, but wet. Just kind of bringing those colors over it. Keep a lot of it kind of black. Make it look a little creepier. And then I can highlight that. I'll probably even throw a wash over it to bring out some of those details a little bit more, but you don't really want to see him because he would match the lighting. Kind of like a pale orange and throwing it on there. Kind of works. So I think maybe what I'll end up doing, because I know this is it's not too exciting to watch the same thing over and over again, and it's a pretty crazy process. So I might just work on this off camera for a bit, and then when I get to the actual figure part, or no, when I get to the owl and the hand, because that's still got to go on the bottom too, come back. But do a lot of this kind of off camera, but it's the same technique over and over and over of just kind of layering in those warms and cool colors in the right spots. Or maybe people like watching this. I doubt it though. I'm going to take some orange. I don't know if you can see this on the palette. What's going on? Take some orange and mix it with that red. That, what is it called? Burnt red. My beard's all over the place today. Humidity. Where was I? Okay. Because a lot of this is still really thin. You can see a lot of the black background through it still, which we don't want. Like this spot right here would be a perfect place to tap in some yellow. Oops, a lot of that was off camera. I am out of it today. Throwing some reds in here in different spots. Come back with some orange on top of it. Blend it in. This brick would be, come on, camera. Yeah, I haven't got to try and. First time I added a little black. That's gonna have to go back and do that in some spots too, I think. Right here. And black, you could just kind of pick out some cracks that need to be brought back in. Look, even gonna have to work on this because the way they show it. Yeah, I don't want to get hung up on that right right now. I'm just kind of using the red in the lower spots too. And definitely, like down here, it's a lot. It's more contrasty. It's basically orange and black as you get further away. So, kind of shooting for that in those spots. There isn't much difference down here. It's mostly like, oops, more like. So I'm taking some orange with just the light rust kind of blended in and just going back over some of the high points. And as you get further up, you got to add more red and other colors into it. I don't know the best way to show that is. It doesn't work. I'm going to go over that yellow. I'm not going to leave that. It's getting there. I don't know why the camera is just not focusing well today. Too much in the background, or I had moved it to do other stuff and it feels like it's not. How do I get that on my hand? Gonna hit some of these streaks again. It's basically orange, yellow, rust brown, some red, just over and over. Tapping those colors in. And the more you think about it, I think the harder it would be. You just want to try and be random. Kind of going off on the box, but not trying to make it exactly the same. Because then you'd go crazy. Which I'm sure there's people that could do that. I'm not one of them. Really liking this though. Like that side of it is looking kind of cool. There's a lot more red on this side. So I'm going to take, let's see. So my red dried up. It's been a while. Well, no, it's pretty good. I just threw some water on it and then it came right back. So I'm going to mix some red, some of this black. And go kind of down this way. So you kind of get a gradient scale of colors in there to choose from. And come back and start doing the same thing over here with some of that. There is a lot of shadow and black on this side though, and a lot more red than orange. Hey, that scorpion. I really like that scorpion. The bottom of it I think would be darker because it would be more in shadow, so I'm gonna do that. Now there are glints in there, like this brick here has like just on that corner there's a highlight. So I'll probably do that on some of them just to kind of bring out some of that. But for the most part, it's really dark maroons. And blacks because of shadows and the way the wall curves. That has a lot to do with it. I'm going to have to get some of that purple in there at some point too. It's fun to actually just paint instead of trying to like airbrush something perfectly. It's fun to just throw paint down. So that's kind of... No, that I don't like. There's too much paint on my brush. Get some water. Kind of blend that. Making kind of a... Oh, I moved it. Kind of a blend from the orange to the yellow too. And kind of come back. I don't know why I keep hitting that one brick, but it just bugs me. So I think that's gonna, like I said, I might do a little work on the side and come back, but and I'm sorry I haven't been able to get in here and get a lot done and stream that much, but working on the other thing, the podcast for a bit, but we're kind of getting that under control. And I've learned quite a bit. Finger is still one of the best tools in the toolbox. I'm sorry. I'm hitting down here a bit too on those stairs. Just trying to match. Again, you don't want those perfect blends. You want to see chunky brush strokes. I still don't like how that cuts off. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I just don't like it. Even though it kind of matches what's on the box, I think that shadow should probably come out onto the stairs a bit. But I don't know if it's worth going back now. That's too wet for sure. Well, it kind of works. It's kind of a glaze almost over some of that. It's going to dry a lot darker than it looks like right there, so I'm going to test something here. Getting some of that blue. Some green. Now this stuff's been sitting a while. This wet palette really kept it nice. Let's tap in. Let's just see what it looks like. This is a blue-green I'm throwing in there. I don't know if you can... It's a little more stark on camera than it is in person. It takes... Ooh, hit the light. Take some black. Erase a little bit of that. Just kind of preparing for the future of what I'm going to have to do here. I just want to test some colors. Throw them in there. Let's see what this does. It's pretty close to what I want. So there's a lot of blue, some green, some yellow. Well, just basically blue and yellow, but a little touch of white in there. I have to fix that. I don't like that. So I think this is more of the glow from the ghost than the shadow. Whereas the front is more blue. This has a little more green thrown in there. So let me try make some purple. Try and make some purple here. Let's see if I could do it. That kind of matches the purple that's in there. It's close. It's close. It's hard to kind of even tell. And this is, wow, it looks completely different on camera than it does in person. It's a lot, these lines are really popping out on camera. They're a lot more subtle in here. And I don't know, it might be camera, it could be my monitor. But that could be a good thing. I mean, I don't know. Probably throw a wash over it later, but so, man, I keep hitting the light. Throw some more purple on this side. I mean, you can barely tell that that purple is there. I'll probably do more of it later. But I'm really, I mean, this is looking okay up here, especially. I think this is looking decent. And stairs are looking okay. Do I have? I don't think I have it over here. Where is it? Oh. Walk away. I have my collector shirt on. Best movie ever. Leave it in the comments if you know The Collector. Awesome movie. So here's the owl. So the owl on the box art, the front of it's going to be blue. The edges are going to have some yellow and some brown. The same colors that are kind of in here are going to be on the back, top of the head, and the edges. The front is going to match down here. And he's going to sit like right on the corner, like right there. Then this is going to really kind of match. It's a lot more blue than the ghost, but it needs to come up on and kind of grab the front stair. Like, I don't even know. Kind of like that. Doesn't really, there's no good way to really do it, but it's going to go kind of like there. So it looks like it's coming out of there, but I don't know. It's kind of goofy. I chose not to use the rat. I thought it was too busy at that point. So I'm going to do those things. Because you got the scorpion, the owl, and the skeleton hand all on one side of the base. It does kind of balance where the figure is, but the rat maybe should be over here. Maybe I will end up doing the rat, but I mean, so far, I think that's looking okay. Let me pop the camera back and kind of see. It's not bad. It's getting there. It's definitely getting there. Oh. I love the scorpion. I don't know why. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to lock it down for a little bit and let this dry, because you can see the top of the torch is still really shiny, which that's still working pretty hard. So keep in touch with it. Let's back this up even more. I keep forgetting about the mic. Focus. Should we test the legs? It's kind of hard to tell. Actually, let's get that stuff out of there. It's not bad. Hey, that's kind of decent looking. Oh well. All right. That makes me feel a little better. I just wish I had more done so far. All right, everybody. I'll talk to you soon. Part 6 will be, I don't know, maybe I'll glue. No, I'm going to paint those separate, so I'm not going to glue those on. Come back, just do a little more touch up on here and get back to that torch. It's that torch. There is a lot more black in the artwork, so I'll probably have to do like a little, maybe I'll do a wash in there and get that going right. But for the most part, I think it's looking okay. We'll see. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.